Hi, I'm Holly Pavlica. I created Momentum. I meet a lot of interesting people in the course of writing this blog. I'd like to introduce you to some of the friends I've met along the way.
I didn't want kids at all. That wasn't my thing. My husband was like, we should have a baby because having a baby would be great. And I thought having a baby would be fun just because he would match my suit. I kind of felt like I had a Prada suit, or I would have like a Gucci suit, and he would be blonde. And I'm a winter, so winter guys, as you can see, I wear like dark colors. He'd be blonde, so he'd be fantastic. And we just decided that, okay, let's do this. And for me, it was a very project thing. So I thought to myself, all right, if I can start a business or if I can write, then maybe I can have a kid. And so that's how it sort of began. And we had a baby 18 months later. And we had him through surrogacy. We didn't adopt him, so he's our child. It took me about 6 years, and I can sort of tell you how that happened. I was in a gymnastics class with my son, and in LA, you go with your children to everything. And you sit there, which to me was something that was kind of really interesting, because when I was a child, my parents never went anything. They would drop me off. So Ethan had a gymnastics class, and I sat there with all the other mommies, and we were all sitting there watching our children do gymnastics. And I thought to myself, what am I doing here? Why am I watching him? Because he would turn around and he'd sort of say, oh, hey, Dad. But I sort of thought in this moment, I started coming up with this routine, and I sounded a lot like Shecky Green doing this whole routine about having children. And one of the mommies said to me, you're really funny. You're bitter, but you're funny. So you should start writing this stuff down. And I just started to write it down. And it was really just for my own kind of like being able to complain about how hard this really was and how boring it was to be a parent. I love my kid to death. And that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. I love my son to death. He's my greatest friend in the whole world. But what no one tells you is parts of it are really dull and really boring and really hard. So you get those moments that are incredibly rewarding, and then you get the rest of what you're like, I'm going to kill myself. So I went home, and my friend said, you go to Blogspot, and just start writing the shit down. So I just started writing it down, and that's how it began. I think it was really, I'm an entertainment marketing guy, and I sort of said to myself, what would this sound like if it were like a TV show? And it was like, tonight, I'm the reluctant daddy. I felt that's exactly who I was, that I was a father that loved being a dad, but I wasn't pulled into it of my own free will. And I thought to myself that there must be other parents, moms and dads, that go into parenting not overjoyed, but kind of go into it a little bit iffy. And that's why I decided to call it The Reluctant Daddy, because I felt that a lot of dads that have children kind of go along with their wives, and the wives sort of say, oh, we should have a baby, and the husbands go, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And that's exactly what I was like. So I went into it completely reluctantly. And in the end, as I always say, it's the most rewarding thing, but also the dullest, hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.